So we've just been told we'll be catified. That's fun. I say just, it was about 2 weeks ago. But we're actually going to try and see if we can get into this a little bit further than we got. I kind of want to know if you actually have, like, decisions and stuff to make, or whether or not it's just a linear story. I'm just interested, so let's see what happens. Oh, be what? Whether you help or not, you don't have a lot of time before. If I may. It would seem we are basing this on our experiences to date. But when a human manages to find themselves in what I believe you call the danger zone, they are vulnerable in ways that they previously were not. That is to say, you're screwed. You're not helping. Don't make me... Oh no, it's more like... Well, no, it's more of a snake. Whoa, mountain lion. There'll be no violence of any kind. Forgive me for being a bit panicked here. You know, it is a fair point. If you get told by 5 cats that you're going to become one of the 5 cats, the 6th cat of the group, then you'd be a little bit worried. The vulnerability to which Snooty Booty is referring to, simply put, if you're bitten or scratched by an elder cat within the danger zone, you will begin a process of change that will ultimately result in a full feline transition. Oh no! Catified! Well, I should have whispered that. So basically you're telling me I'm a werecat. I look down and in amongst the scratches on my right hand are 2 distinct puncture marks. The reality of my situation descends on me like a cold mist. Wait, what? The right hand... Oh, you got bitten! Oh, you got bitten! Oh, basically you got bitten! Oh shit! My head is spinning. This is too much for me to take in. Take a breath now, Kara. You're not looking so good. What? Have I started to change? I feel my head for ears, fur, everything seems to be normal. No. I just meant you're looking a bit shaky. Understandably so. I take a few deep, sturdy breaths and calm myself to say, okay, so, why, how, what? Give me some data. What have you got so far? Look, we'll answer anything we can, but the truth is we have more questions than answers ourselves. So you said you need my help. What exactly would that entail? Well, finding our friends would be a start. The cats on the island, they're going missing. We don't know what's happening to them. But their body count is rising, and we've hit a wall. A wall of ignorance, maybe. Really, how many times do I have to tell you? The maulers are to blame, and the mulers? Oh. Now, floofy butt. There is no time for name-calling. Speaking of name-calling, I'll remind you to call me Major, madame. Look, they can't help the way they are. It's a lack of breeding, you know. Overbreeding, if you ask me. Again, mulers. They're the elder cats, the island's originals. They can't speak in the way we can, hence the derogatory term mulers. And how are they to be blamed, exactly? Well, if I knew that, there would have been no need for this to elaborate kidnapping. That was complete ruining of that whole sentence. Fuck it, we're turning it off, we're having enough, we're gone, we're done. We're talking about cats right now. The cats, we'll be becoming a cat, and cats, we're gonna date cats in a bit. Ugh, no. Ugh. Well, if I knew that, there would have been no need for this elaborate kidnapping. There we go. It's hardly proving to be a roaring success, after all. Look, Kara, all we really know is that we are no longer safe on the island. The elders who live within the danger zone are hostile towards us. Not sure why, it's just always been that way. And now, because cats are being taken, nowhere else is safe either. You expect the occasional mishap. We live in an undomesticated world here, after all. But lately, cats have been disappearing almost every day. Even the last human we catified went missing. Wait, you what? Let's not open old wounds, Kibbles. Yes, onwards and upwards. Well, first things first, this werecat thing. Catification. Transition. Whatever. How does it work? Time passes. Then you transform into a cat. Oh, sweet. Nah. Blech. It's a gradual process. It's different for everyone, but you won't just turn overnight. That's alright then. The clock is ticking, however. That's less alright then. The first side effect of the transition is being able to understand us. Well, some of us. Not the elders, obviously. Not all the domestics either. Then you have the whole heightened senses thing, the increased agility, the crazy body hair stuff. Let's not worry the human with all the details just yet. Oh yeah, thanks. Don't worry me. Definitely not. I assume there's an antidote? I'm afraid you're going to be disappointed in that assumption. Hang on, you said there was someone else who put you in this position. Well, let's hope you're better than they were. What? Unfortunately, they weren't able to discover an antidote or get our friends back. Oh! I know where their notes are, though. Really? Trade? Huh? Trade for what? You help us and I'll give you their progress reports. Oh my god. Help the kid. I've got to help the fucking kitties, ain't I? Not much of a choice, really, is it? Afraid not. Okay, fine. So where do I start? Is there anything you can tell me that will help me track down your missing friends? Well, no one... oh god, I'm gonna burp. No, I'm fine. Oh no. I'm fine. Well, no one listens to sense. Start with the Muellers. And I'll eat my hat if there doesn't end there too. Whispers, don't mind him. He's set in his ways. We have every reason to believe the abductions take place in your part of the island. Yes, nowhere near the danger zone. Or the elders. Well, that doesn't make much sense, but I suppose nothing does around this place. My catalogue started beeping. Oh, my alarm! I have to get to work. You run along now. We don't want you arousing suspicion with your people. You can meet with us later. I like the idea that someone might just be looking over on the beach and he's just talking to cats. He's going, meow, 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 meow. I'll make sure these reports are in your tent before the evening. Thanks, Kara. You're 1 in a million. I imagine the odds are far greater than that, given your new health status. Go! And thanks from all of us. Sweet! So now we're helping out them because obviously, well, they're screwed as much as I am, so I suppose we may as well help. After a rather painful journey, I am very grateful to finally limp into camp. I have just enough time to get myself tidied up for work, and I'm about to peel off my filthy pajamas when I hear my catalogue beeping. I have a message, but I can't tell who it's from. It's not from any of the contacts that Professor Pauper programmed into it. In fact, there's no contact information at all. Unknown number. Are you sure this is wise to trust everyone? Anyone? What on earth does that mean? Who is this? There's a lot you don't know. Think carefully about who you confide in. Oh, shit. Before I can think of a reply, the messages are gone and my catalogue has no record of them. I don't have any time to think about this right now. I need to get ready. It's probably the elder cat. As soon as I'm presentable, I head over to the lab. I'm 10 minutes late. It doesn't give a good impression on my first morning. Ah, GamingRack, good to see you. I was beginning to worry. Did you oversleep on your first day? I'm terribly sorry, sir. I think the travelling and all the excitement of yesterday, I take punctuality very seriously. He cuts across my apology. Not to worry, it's perfectly understandable. You find I'm quite relaxed about most things. As long as you get the work done, I don't mind much of what hours you keep. Oh, sweet! So, shall we get started? My goodness, what on earth happened to you? He's looking at the scratches all over my hands. Oh, I fell and tried to save myself by grabbing onto a bush. I'm afraid I led you astray last night. Not everyone could take the double malt. How's the head this morning? I decided it's easier to play along. A little bit fuzzy, but it won't affect my work, sir. I really oughtn't drink spirits on an empty stomach. We ought to get those hands sorted out, though. They look pretty nasty to me. He goes to the till metal cabinet in the corner and takes out a bottle of some cotton wool. Oh, a bottle and some cotton wool. He begins cleaning and tending to my hands while he talks. For today, I'd like to help me with I'd like you to help me with a few tasks around the lab to get the hang of things. But from tomorrow, I'll let you make your own choices about how the best to carve up your time. Oh, great! So tomorrow, I have to do that. I wanted to do it now! Of course, you are primarily here to carry out your job as my research assistant. However, try to make the most of your time on the island. Once your work is completed, we'll be saying goodbye. This really is once in a lifetime opportunity, so don't waste it all in the lab. Naturally, I need your help around here, but I'd also like you to get your hands dirty with some field work. Make sure you spend time exploring the island. It's a beautiful place, and there's a lot to see. Take the time to get to know the cats. A full understanding of their behaviour is critical to our research. There is plenty to see and do. However, you must be careful not to overwork. Take regular rest and relaxation. We don't want you to burn yourself out now, do we? I'll try to get the balance right. That's the spirit. So, there you are. He's done a first-class job on my wounds, and they aren't bothering me nearly as much. Sweet. I spend the rest of the day with the professor, getting to know how the various pieces of equipment in the lab work, finding out where everything is, and learning some basic duties I'll be performing routinely. Awesome. So maybe we'll just go straight into... No, okay, maybe not. By the end of the day, I'm exhausted and make my way to the tent. I'm about to flop down on my bed when I see a package poking out from underneath it. It's a report the Kibbles promised to deliver. The cats were right. The previous person barely made a start on producing an antidote. I'm gutted and worried. What if I can't do any better? Will it just turn out to be a cat? I decided that it's not an option and resolved to get going on my own research into it tomorrow. Yes! My instincts tell me that the cats will be a good starting point. I have a feeling they know a lot more than they're prepared to tell me. I need to gain their trust and see if I can't get them to open up a bit. I'm sure I'll make more progress if I focus on one at a time. I'm optimistic that one-to-one sharing will prove fruitful. It's a small glimmer of hope. Tonight, I'm not fit for anything. I can barely even write my journal before I fall asleep. Wonderful. So now, tomorrow, we get to go pick what to do. Yay! The first morning of waking up on the island, I'm so excited to discover what a day will bring. Should I jump straight into lab research, or maybe it would be wise to start investigating a way to help these cats and find a cure for myself? Boom. Perhaps a good starting point would be to get to know the cats a little better on a one-to-one basis. I don't know. I suppose so. Although I don't know how much we've got to balance romance, research, and recon. What we? Oh god, let's do some research. Let's do some research first. I don't know which tasks did I research. This one. No, they're all locked. Okay. Today I'm off on a field trip. All sorts of. Yeah. All right. Let's do that one. Let's do 16. I do them in order, but I haven't got a clue. Press support but told me to be ready early and dressed for hiking. As we're doing field work this morning, I'm not sure that I have anything that would pass for hiking gear, to be honest. Some sturdy shoes would be good. Oh well, lab current trend as it is then, as usual. A message from the professor lights up in my catalog. Set to go, I'm waiting outside my tent. Sweet. Ah, Barry Rack. Are you ready for our field work today? Yes, of course, Professor. May I ask where we're going? Somewhere I think you'll find very interesting. Professor hands me a backpack. Here, take this bag. It's very full, but surprisingly light. Poor boy set off at a brisk pace, calling me back over his shoulder. This way! I had to catch him up. After some serious walking, with me struggling to keep up, the professor stops abruptly and listens. Did you hear that? There's a distinct sound of bubbling water. We're almost there! I don't know where we're going. It was nice of him to tell me. I'm glad he did. Secretly, I'm relieved, as I don't think I can go much further. Just a little climbing. Climbing? I hide my dismay. Where does he get his energy from? All that whiskey. It's just at the top. It's not difficult. It's not as a difficult climb as it looks. We're in front of an almost vertical rock face. Just copy me. He clambers up expertly. He's done this 17 times, though. I managed to find a spot that will support my foot and start the climb. I make little progress before slipping and falling flat on my bum. I try again. This time I take it slow. Again, I fall. What happened to the benefits of catification on the others keep going on about? The professor notices I'm having trouble and holds a hand out for me. I manage to climb up just enough to take hold of him, and he lifts me the rest of the way. His strength is impressive. Curious, even. Not a fan of climbing, eh? Can't say I've done much of it, Professor. Oh, he's a cat. Oh, fuck, he's a cat. Come along, then. I can get you there. He pretty much pulls me all the way up to the top and then leads me to the entrance of a small cave. The sound of running water is very loud now. I instantly see why. A natural spring has cut its way through the rock and created a beautiful cascade of sparkling clear water. It looks delicious. I kneel down. Without thinking, I begin to drink. It tastes amazing. As I come up for breath, I see the professor looking at me with suspicion. You should know better. It is never wise under any circumstances to ingest something that is unproven, but here on this island it would be prudent to exercise more caution than usual. I feel embarrassed at my lack of consideration. Yes, of course, sir. I wasn't thinking. I felt so thirsty and it looked so good. I don't understand. Many have made the same error. Fortunately for you, this is tried and tested for safe consumption. It's good, don't you think? My body feels suddenly re-energized. I feel like I can climb any wall. It's incredible. Fantastic. What's in it? We don't know. That's why we're here. We need to take more samples. We've been studying this water for months now. We still know very little about it. Check your bag. I have my bag. It's full to the brim with empty plastic bottles. We need to fill all of these with water. We're going to need as much as we can carry. I do as he says. By the time all the bottles are full and back in my bag, it weighs a ton, but I feel like I'd lift anything. The effect of the water is powerful. The professor has also packed his own rucksack with bottles. I was going to say packed his lunch. Okay. That should do us for now. Let's get these back. As we make our way down to the rock face and back to camp, I have no problem keeping up with the professor. I feel like I could run all the way. However, as we get closer to home, I start to feel the effect wear off. My bag becomes unbearably heavy. The final limit to camp is torture. I need to rest. Awesome. So, we've done a little bit of research, which is cool. And now we've got 3 more things to do. We could do... What I'm thinking is we could do research, recon, and then romance twice. Or we could do... I'm thinking doing 3 days worth of research because we've got 3 researches to do. Because we're like 1.4% to an antidote. So, I don't know, because I kind of need to do some Romo. I think what we'll do, I'll tell you what, we'll do double research. Let's do double research, because we've already researched complete. So we'll do double research, and then we'll do 1 romance and 1 recon. That sounds perfect. A slow day today. I've only got to organise a few samples from previous field trips. Sweet, let's do that then. Get the samples down and we'll bugger off. Today I'm in the lab doing flora research. It's not the most exciting job, but if I keep my head down, I can get through it quickly enough. It really just consists of unpacking new samples of plants and flowers that the Professor and I have collected on our foraging expeditions. And logging them into the database of organic substances on the computer. Most of them are commonplace plants that grow abundantly in the forest, but occasionally we come across something more rare, exotic even. One of the samples I'm looking at today is Candela Inca maritama, which is very interesting indeed. I can't help speculating that it's been cultivated in the marigold's little greenhouse and then transported to open ground. I'm distracted momentarily by the sound of clinking glass, and I turn to see the beautifully manicured paw of a sphinx cat tapping on a beaker, nudging it perilously close to the edge of the counter. Oh, you dick. Boots, stop that, you're not supposed to be in here. She laughs as though I've told a joke. That's frightfully pretty flower. That's a frightfully pretty flower, Candela Inca, if I'm not mistaken. You never cease to amaze me, Boots. How on earth do you know that? Why, I make it my business to know all about the rare and valuable works of art. Art? Why not? It's been created like a sculpture or painting. The marigold's a true artist in the garden. I wonder if they had something to do with this. It's so unusual, even in its natural swampy habitat. But to have it growing here in the forest is very out of the ordinary. Yes, its properties are extraordinary too, human. Well, I'm quite new to the botanical science, so I probably don't know half of it. Why don't you fill me in? I'm always happy to facilitate your learning, human. I simply can't stay here a moment longer. The air is so stale, don't you find it? I ignore her sideways glance and upturned nose. Let's go to the beach and drink some coconut water. I'll tell you everything you need to know. Stoops, I'm not going anywhere till I finish this. Don't be ridiculous. You can tinker about here and here anytime, but the sun will be gone in an hour or two. I'm not tinkering. This is my job. If I don't get it done, the person will want to know why. Then explain to him you had better things to do. Snooty booty, I won't tell you again. If he catches you here, Pauper will cage you. Be careful with that flower, human. It doesn't do to inhale that fragrance too deeply. What? I turn to ask why, and I see her flounce out, knocking the beaker with a swish of her tail as she does. You did that on purpose! But she's gone, leaving me to clear up the broken glass. Dick. Wow, okay. Sweet. So, we've done 2 sets of research. We'll do 1 recon, and then we'll do 1 thingy. Yeah, because we've got 2 recons. So that means tomorrow we can do 1 research, 1 recon, and then 2 thingies. Sweet. Cool, let's do recon 4. That security guard I met when I arrived might have been a good lead. Time for a bit of interrogation work. Strange message in the middle of the night. Doesn't anyone... Let's do that one, because that seems a little bit more interesting. I hear my catalog beeping. I presume it's a professor. I tumble out of bed, half asleep, fumble around looking for the device. I look at the screen, my eyes struggling to focus. The message isn't from the professor at all. There's no contact information. Come outside. Who is this? Come outside. They obviously aren't going to respond to my question. Should I do as the message tell me? Yes. My curiosity is roused. I have a feeling that there's something important to learn from this stranger, so I throw on my clothes and crawl out of my tent. I don't see anything out of the ordinary. Anyone out here? My catalog beeps again. Walk to the edge of the forest. I'm not going to go any further until you tell me who you are. Walk to the edge of the forest. No! Walk to the edge of the forest. Walk to the edge of the forest. Walk to the edge of the forest. Stop it! By now I realise I walked to the edge of the forest. At the edge of the forest, I see something on the ground. As I get closer, it becomes clear that it's a small posy of flowers. I gingerly pick them up and notice that several flower heads are missing. My catalogue beeps again. Follow the petals. Oh my god! And that's when I see a trail of little orange petals, the same colour as the bouquet I'm holding. Well, I've come this far, no turning back now. I begin to walk. I'm nervous, so I call out. Hello? No answer. Louder this time. Hello? 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 Who's that? Who goes there? Oh, it's Floofy. Major, is that you, Floofy Butt? I really shouldn't call me that, human. What on earth do you think you're playing at? Cavorting around the forest in the dead of night, causing a ruckus. Oh, Major, you don't know how pleased I am to see you. I need your help. And this can't wait until a civilized hour? I'm afraid it can't. I'm not the one investigating this. I've been getting messages from an anonymous source asking me to follow them into the forest. Look, they've left a trail. Ah, marigolds, herb of the sun. They're said to represent creativity, although some believe that they to be symbols of cruelty and grief. Your knowledge is always so impressive, but I have to say on this occasion, it's not very comforting. Floofy Bug goes striding off with purpose. Come along then, GamingRack. Are we going to follow this trail or not? I shuffle awkwardly behind him. Before the sun comes up, eh? We continue on for a short while and notice that the petals are getting more sparse. It's becoming difficult to see them until eventually they seem to run out as we find ourselves at a small clearing. Well, it appears somebody's been playing a joke on you, GamingRack. I sadly agree, it's been nothing but a wild goose chase. Seems so, Major. I'm sorry for dragging you into this. Let's get back to our beds before we waste some real precious snooze time on this fool. I turned to Floofy Butt and noticed that his back is arched and his throat is puffed up, making him look even more floofy than usual. Something wrong, Major? You tell, human. Does that pile of rocks look suspicious to you? Amongst myriad rock piles, I noticed a small, contrived-looking cairn. Floofy Butt's right. It looks far from natural. That looks to me like he's asking to be inspected, Major. Well, let's get to it, GamingRack. You're the one with the thumbs. I begin to dismantle the small mound, rock by rock. It's not until the foundation stone is removed that we find a Mandela envelope. Major, look, it's a letter. It looks rather large for a letter, my dear. I think you ought to open it. Here, or back at base? Having got you this far, I think it's only fair that I have equal share of the spoils. Spoils? Yes, perhaps we should look at it right now, Major. As I'm speaking, I've torn the envelope. Well, out with it. It looks like drawings? What sort of drawings? I'm not sure, but they look quite old, antique even. But do they have value, human? Probably to someone. They appear to be sketches of people here on the island, but I don't recognise anyone. Why would someone lead me to these? How do you know that you were meant to find them? Because we followed a trail and it led us here. Actually, the trail ended a while back. This could be a mere coincidence. I hardly see the intrigue in a few old scribbles. They show no artistic flair at all. Even so, I'm going to hang on to these if they prove relevant to whatever mystery is unfolding here on the island. Floofy Butt rolls his eyes. You ought to focus more on the clues that matter instead of running around in the middle of the night on a wild goose chases. Let's head back before anyone discovers you're missing. I rolled the drawings up and tucked them into my waistband. I will study them when I have more time. I think Floofy Butt is probably right, but I don't want to miss a trick. Cool. Get some rest now, GamingRack. Finally, a sensible suggestion. I head after Floofy Butt, struggling to keep up. I really need some sleep. Awesome. So, righty-ho. What should I do today? We have one life, and what we're going to do is we're going to do the romance. But we're going to do the romance in the next episode. So, if you have been enjoying this, please let me know. I will definitely do a lot more of these, because it's actually rather fun, as bad as I want to not admit that. But yeah, hopefully you did enjoy this video, and I'll see you next time.